What's going on, everybody? Site Perspectives, GeoFux here. In this video, I want to discuss the elections. You know, we've got primaries going on. You need to, I'll have information in the description box about your primaries. There's local, state, and federal elections. And quite frankly, this is every 2 years and every 4 years you have these types of elections happening. So not only is this a state and local election, but you also have the presidential election. Now, I've stated this time and time again. The two-party political system in the USA is garbage. It's trash, and I recognize it. And I also have stated numerous times, voting isn't the answer, but it's one of the tools in the toolbox to liberation. There's many different ways to getting to liberation, and some people vote, some people are on the streets protesting, some people are boycotting, some people are getting into the system to make changes in the system. There's various ways, right? And a lot, depending on who you are, you may use one way or multiple different tools. Me personally, I use multiple different tools. So there's always a lot on the table, on the ballot. And I really hate that because, again, when you are a minority or a marginalized identity, a part of a marginalized community, we're always at risk, regardless of who's in office. And that's what sucks. And at the same time, it is the lesser of two evils. They're both evil. I'm not going to sit up here and make it seem like it ain't that. And at the same time, if you're a marginalized identity, a lot of us, we don't have the privileges to not vote. And we don't have the privileges, a lot of times, to go and vote third party. I'm just going to keep it real. And what I mean by that is, you already know, I talk about it all the time. I'm African American, black, working class, working poor, working class, however you want to look at it, because we got to live check to check. We got to work 2 and 3 jobs. We got all, you know what I'm saying? Got student loan debt, went to college, got degrees. I was born intersex. I identify as an intersex trans man. And you know what? I'm gay, queer. I have physical health issues. So again, I have various different social identities, various different marginalized identities, which for me makes it very difficult for me not to participate in politics. Because every single time I turn around, I'm at risk. Now, I'm not going to tell people they have to vote or who they should vote for. I will encourage people to vote at the local and state and federal level. But at the end of the day, it is ultimately up to that person, you know? And I'm a firm believer, you can't guilt trip people into voting, okay? And also, I understand the reasons why people don't vote. I get it. There's various reasons, and I get it. You keep telling people to cast their ballot and vote, and at the same time, are their lives actually changing? Are they getting better? Are they improving? And at the same time, I know, for me, I will never support a Republican or a conservative, ever. I'm sorry, but you're literally anti-me. You don't want me as a black person having freedoms and rights. You don't want me as an intersex trans man having freedoms and rights. So I'm not going to be supporting people who don't support me. And that's just how I look at things. And at the same time, everything going on, Biden, in my opinion, is not a good candidate. I'm just going to keep it real, and neither is Trump. We are left with 2 old cis het white men with money who ultimately do not give a rat's patooey about any of us, because at the end of the day, they're so far removed from everyday people. And again, They're privileged as hell. You're white, you're a cisgendered white man with money, and you're heterosexual, at least on surface, because we all know how that goes. But anyways, you're the most privileged. So again, a lot of the struggles that other people deal with, they have never had to endure, which is hilarious to think that we're going to elect people who don't even relate to their own damn constituents. Because literally with Trump, he's rich, he's wealthy, and you got all of these working class, working poor white folks, predominantly, who vote for him, even though he doesn't want you having food stamps, he doesn't want you having Social Security, he doesn't want you having affordable housing, he doesn't want you to have a living wage, but you tend to vote against your best interest because most of you are racist. It's just time to keep it real. You're racist, you're sexist, you're misogynistic, you're homophobic, you're transphobic, you're xenophobic, you're Islamophobic. A lot of y'all are bigots, and that's why y'all make these decisions to vote for Trump. Let's just keep it a buck, because the average person in America is literally working class, baby. Most of us are a missed paycheck away from homelessness. So a lot of the shit that we claim to be doing, it's ridiculous. Okay? It's absolutely ridiculous. And at the same time, you have a president with President Biden who is sending our tax dollars to fund endless wars that he supposedly said he wasn't going to do, and to support genocide. Your tax dollars are going to to Israel to kill off Palestinian people from their homeland. And then in the same breath, people in the USA don't even have enough food to eat, can't afford rent, living check to check, robbing Peter to pay Paul, going through hell. But yet our tax dollars never are actually used to benefit us. It's always used to benefit the rich, the wealthy, and the corporations, and the military war machine. Let's just keep it real. We can't even... Anyways. So, what I'm telling people on a personal level, if you don't like Biden, you don't like Trump, I get it. At least vote in your local and state elections. Because at the end of the day, your local and state elections have a lot more say-so on your everyday life than the president at the federal level. Not to mention, the presidency, in many ways, doesn't really have much power if they don't have allies in Congress and Senate. So, even if Donald Trump gets in office, is reelected for another term as president, if we can get progressive, left-leaning, in my opinion, because I'm speaking from my opinion and looking at how I view politics and what would help me and my community, in my opinion, if we could get progressive, left-leaning people elected, rather they're Democrat or third party, a lot of what Trump wants to do is not going to get done if we can get the majority of House and Senate, your Congress and Senate, all right? And then on the local and state level, it's the same thing. If you're able to get people that support you and stand up for you and your rights elected to school boards, to township trustees, to precinct delegates, to mayors, to Board of Education, to state senate, state senators, state representatives, you know, your governor, your lieutenant governor, from the very local level to the state level, and if you can, to the federal level. But this is why, for me, my focus is going to be on local and state, because I do not care for Biden. I don't care for Trump. And I'm not going to sit up here and tell people I'm going to do what I can do to get people that I believe are good folks elected, who are going to push for equity, freedom, and rights for all people, including marginalized identities such as Black and Brown, Hispanic, Latino, people of color, indigenous, women, girls, LGBTQ plus people, trans people, working class, working poor people, middle class people. Those are my communities. So those are, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to just say it now, y'all. It's 2024. You cannot be guilt tripping people about voting. It doesn't work. It didn't work in 2022, 2020, 2018, 2016, and so forth. What you need to do as elected officials, or if you are a candidate, you need to actually be about what you claim to support. You cannot sit up and say you support working class people and then get into office and not raise the federal minimum wage. You can't say that you support women and LGBTQ plus people and people with vaginas, etc., and then not make sure that you recodified Roe versus Wade, and you're not supporting reproductive health and freedom. Okay, it's time again. If you want people to be excited to vote and actually participate on a consistent, regular basis, then you, as the elected official, you need to show up and do your damn job. Okay? Again, you ran this whole campaign in 2020 on, living wages, universal health care, fixing the infrastructure, helping parents with children, affordable daycare, affordable college, university, student loan forgiveness, etc. And really, you've fallen short. Like, yes, you have done things. Like yesterday, they announced that another 150,000 student loan borrowers got their student loans forgiven for those who enrolled in the new SAVE repayment plan and have been making payments for the past 10 years. And they had like $12,000 or less left. They got theirs forgiven. And there's been millions of people who have gotten their student loans forgiven over the past nearly 4 years. However, I'm just going to go on and say it. That's not enough. You literally could forgive every federal student loan by enacting the Education Act, the Higher Education Act of 1965. And again, you refuse to do that, just like you refuse to protect Roe versus Wade and abortion rights. But again, you want to come in every 2 to 4 years trying to guilt trip somebody. And at the end of the day, you're sitting up here funding war and genocide. People are being murdered and killed. Entire generations have been erased in Palestine. Then we got all this stuff going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo, just so you can have the latest damn cell phone. Latest tablet. People are being murdered and killed. Then you got what's going on in Sudan. It's a lot going on, in Yemen. Now you got Israel bombing Lebanon. Then you got what's going on in Ukraine and Russia. It's so much going on top of the fact, climate change. Climate change is real. Again, I'm in Michigan, in the Midwest. It's February. And it was 60 degrees yesterday. It's 55 degrees today. I'm wearing a regular hoodie. I haven't really had to wear my big winter coat this year. Now, granted, I don't really care for winter and I don't really care for snow and cold. But at the end of the day, I recognize this is abnormal. Like, we should be having snow and ice. I'm just being real. And it's about to be March. And this has been the most mild February ever. But anyways, you got that. Then you got hyperinflation, which is really just price gouging. It's corporate greed. And none of us are being paid what the cost of living is. So people are very upset, frustrated, struggling, suffering. So I don't recommend trying to guilt trip somebody that's going through the ringer because of how things are set up. I don't recommend guilt tripping them about voting. What I do recommend is you can give them information on candidates, and if you can give them something tangible to help them today, do so. Do that. But I get it, you know what I mean? It's hard out here. It is absolutely hard out here. Free Palestine. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Free the Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo. Free Sudan, free Haiti. Free all marginalized people. And as I make this video, I'm literally en route to support a candidate that's running for Congress. I volunteer, I door knock, I canvass, I phone bank, help with social media. I do what I gotta do to help people that I know and that are from my community, that would represent my community at the best of their capabilities. That's who I'm supporting. So I'm out here doing what I gotta do to do that. Again, everybody doesn't use the same tools in the toolbox to fight against oppression. But I know what I'm doing, and I know what I've been doing. I'm out.